All right, we're on the Milano, hole 3, par 5. Trying to get the Grunberg slopes, but filming whatever I come across. See if we got the right kind of wind today. Now I'm going to switch to a Marlin ball. Don't want to waste all my good stuff. I'm going to see how far this new, normally I lay up out here, but I'm going to see how far this new extra mile can pound that ball down there. So 3.8. It's a little shy of 2 rings. See if we can get it all the way, stay in the fairway and get all the way up towards the front. Get past the tree. The deal there is that with that club with max topspin, max overpower with that Marlin, I don't make it that much further than I did if I just hit a non-overpowered shot. I'll end up on this side of the tree right here where you can come straight up at the hole with very little risk with a quarterback. A lot of these holes, when you're playing one-on-one, the deal is that when I'm playing one-on-one, I bring accurate stuff, my rock, my quarterback, I bring my accurate clubs, and I do a lot of layups. I keep myself in play. I let my opponent make their mistakes. And then I try and take advantage of them when they make those mistakes. I try and shut the door, slam the door in their face. You're playing one-on-one, it's different. You have to have a different mentality and a different approach to these holes. The goal is to get up there. If people are using a monster ball and they get up there, sometimes you just got to take your lumps. But typically, if I can put the hammer down on somebody, that's the goal. Don't let them get back in the game. If you're down here playing with your teammates and you're practicing, I'll miss putts so we can go to the shootout. But when you're playing out there and you're really playing, trying to fill your chests, get brutal. Just dub it outside. Close. I got an Albie on this hole earlier today. I'm on fire today. I've gotten 2 Albies and 3 hole-in-ones today. And probably about 15 holes played, so I'm definitely on fire. See if Ryan can get it in there. I would start that off where I was 2 rings off. I'd put that orange ring off, and then I would have put on a little bit of side spin to bring it back to the hole to give myself more breathing room down there, because where that's set up, if he catches a great to the right, he could clip the rough. Luckily, he hit it perfect. Perfect! Get in the hole! Nice shot. And well played. And here's what's funny is I was playing Ryan earlier when I got an Albie on this hole, and then he turns around and gets the Albie back. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm going to tell him. All right, we're on hole 5, par 4 of the Milano. Just catching those Milano holes. Okay, I have to pop out the Titan here. Got to pop it out. I take the wind out, so it's a little over. It's about a ring and a third. See if we can catch that up there. I can never remember exactly how much spin I'm supposed to put on it, but I think I'm supposed to put on a couple backspin. Almost. Maybe one there would have been perfect. The best way to come at this hole in tournament play is to come off of this little island right here and bring it around. That's the most consistent way to do it. But when this hole first came out, I would just dinking around. A lot of times when holes come out, if there's a max overpower hook shot, especially on holes like this where you've got all these little multiple link style pads that you can land on and then bounce off and playing basically putt golf, trying to bounce from one to the next to the next. I will come out there, and I know that the starting spot on that is the transition between the rough and the sand, where I'm just almost clipping that tree with my ball guide. Just a bit outside. And that's from just playing this hole many, many times. And it takes a 3-power ball in order to reach up there. So it's hard to do with a Marlin. I've tried it several times with a Marlin. There are several holes in this game that there is a max overpower hook shot with a Marlin, and it'll put you on the green. Anticipation. All right, close. So normally when I'm playing teammates and they'll do the same thing for me. You have to practice these shots right here so that you feel comfortable that you can make these shots. Because I see a lot of people when they're in these positions, they rush it because they're like, I'm in my rough or my sand, so they just pop it up there and to get their putt. But you can make these shots. You got to have confidence that you can make these shots. So you need to set them up and put a little thought into it. So we always go for these, but if we're on the green, I'll always let people catch up so that we can go to shootouts and practice those holes. The whole idea of playing friendlies is to practice against each other and learn how to play these holes. And you don't do that if you're trying to beat your teammates out front. We always want to go to a shootout. Let's see if Ryan put that on there. That is awesome that he got that Albie on that hole. Awesome. Awesome. All right, here we go. Get in the hole. And we're getting nothing but the old holes and not the new ones. So for those of you that are practicing here, I'll post this video so that you can, check out these holes. But and Ryan and I kind of have a thing where we do on a lot of these holes, we'll do try and do dunks. And you'd be amazed if you put on max backspin on one of these dunks. So every time you try and do a dunk, put max backspin on it. You'll be amazed that in many cases, even if you get in the hole, you get in the hole. But there's times where you'll hit the flagpole and you'll end up on the green. But even if you don't and you blow past it, in most cases you'll be within like 15 yards if you put all of the backspin on. And it's surprising to me how often I win. Oh, that was nice. Close. Nice shot. You'd be surprised at how often you'll win because your opponent will come to a hole like this and they'll tank it. Now this is a pretty easy hole to get real close, and this is a great hole-in-one hole. So we're about 1.5. I'm gonna do a ring and a half. I'm pretty close to minimum club. And hit it great to the left. You won't make those when you hit them great. You gotta hit, and that was pretty close, but you gotta be now let's see, I'm 18 yards away on a missed shot. This particular hole, if you're trying to dunk and your opponent's trying to do it for real, they're probably going to get you unless they catch the sand. But on a lot of these par threes, you'll be amazed at how many you win practicing those dunks. All right, let's see if we can catch one of the new ones. Come on. Grunberg Slopes, hole 2, par 5. Awesome. I don't have this hole. This is one of the, I need 2, 4, and 6 in order to complete a set. So, hole number 2, first time I've ever been on this hole. Big par 5. From looking at the, oh my gosh, this is a monster par 5. So, Ryan's going to go to the left. I'm going to go to the right. That way we can get a good look at both sides. Taking a 100% accurate club. He's going to end up in the rough. He's definitely going to end up in the rough. Excellent. Now at least we can see that. That'll work. That way he can see if he can get on from there with a wood. And we can get up into that area there. It's doubtful that we would be able to get over into that unless we brought a monster ball. Let's see what a snow globe looks like. And we might be able to get over all the way up with a power 5 ball. Look at that. If we had good wind, we could definitely get way up in there. I'm not really willing to burn a snow globe ball on that. So we'll see if we can pop it out into that area and catch it. That'll work. At least we got some distances there. We know, like, hey, it is possible to get up there with a power 5 ball and an extra mile 9. So if you've got an extra mile 7 or 8, it may not be because of the topspin that's on there, but it's still worth exploring that. It would be much better with some tailwind to help you out. So that 15 topspin that the extra mile 9 got is monstrous. That is excellent to know that if you're down there at the bottom where Ryan was at, that you can still get up on the green from that area. So that's very good information. Let's see where I'm at in my club. Okay, so there's min, and I'm right at max. So I'm right at max long iron. This is going to be, I'm going to switch up my long irons, and I'm going to put a Grizzly in my bag because almost all of the long iron shots that I've seen so far in this don't require big backspin. They are run up, very accurate shots. That's about a half a ring. No, hit it great. Getting a little lag. Everybody's been complaining today when you get these new updates. I did clear my cache, and that helped out. One of my teammates is having a super hard time getting lag and stuff. So I was having some issues, so I cleared my cache in the game, and that did seem to help a little bit. But I'm not sure if it's just because there's a lot of people on, because there's all these new holes and everybody's trying to catch them. This looks like a fairly easy eagle, and we've got several opportunities to increase our odds of getting an Albie. If we can blow through up there and get all the way up to the green fairway, that is a monster shot. But that'd put you in a wedge or minimum short iron. I'm not sure if it's possible to get down there, but if I catch this hole again and get any kind of tailwind, I'm definitely going for that shot. And make it or not make it, I'm going to post it. All right, I'll give you some bonus content. All right. 30% wind adjustment. That's key. Which way's the wind blowing here? 3-4, so that's going to be 1, so it's going to be 4-4. See if I can pop this off. Caught a grate to the right. %30 wind adjustment. That's key on that hole. Anytime you're looking at your ring set and you can't zoom way down on your ring set and pick out individual pieces of grass, that means you're downhill. And so when you try and zoom down in there, if you use the wind ring method, when you try and zoom down in there, the closer you can get, like if you can get where you can count the individual pieces of grass, you're probably uphill. But if you can't get close to it at all, like right there, that was as close as I could get to my ring set when I made that wind adjustment. Then you know that you're downhill because you can't get close to it. Nice shot. Nice shot, Ryan. All right, let's rematch. Let's see if we can catch some more of these holes. Still need hole number 4 and 6 of Grunberg Slopes. Come on, hole number 4. Catching a lot of Milanos. Hole, and I like this hole in Milano. This is one of those holes that you're always close to Albie. I did hit an Albie on this earlier today. And I'm fire today. But it's one of those Albies that I catch Albies on this hole and not in tournaments, but I've never got an Albie in a tournament on this hole. It's depressing. I'm not a fan of that side over there because you need to bring a monster club for the second shot, or you need to be way down there, and it's a difficult second shot, and you only have one option. And if you end up in the rough, you're toast. Toast. So if you've got, okay, I know if you've got an upper developed rock that it's 5 rings. If you've got a lower developed rock, I'm going to bring a Marlin. If you got an upper developed rock, it's 5 rings. If you got a lower developed rock, it's 3 rings. So if you got anything less than a level 8 rock, it's 3 rings. You're 3 rings off the transitional surface between the fairway and the rough. But if you got a maxed out one, or level 8 or higher, then you need to put on 5 rings. And you can do max curl, and it'll go straight down the fairway, and it'll come right up to the edge right there and overshoot. That'll work. The deal is that what I like about over on that side is that you can make it when you're in the rough, but when you're over here, unless you're on the lower rough, and it's very unlikely that you're going to make it down here all the way to the lower rough. If you get caught in the rough, it's going to be up here. See if he's trying to stick it right there. Excellent. That was a dangerous way to stick it, but that is a good spot. That'll give him a good look from over there. But you can get up from here with your Nirvana. It's possible. So I'm going to need about 3 miles per hour of wind in order to get me up on that area. So I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to take out 5, and I'm going to put a couple of it back in. Isn't it perfect? See if that was enough, or if I get caught up in the rough. Just enough. This is my dunk hole. You're going to find yourself on this hole in this area a lot. And so this is a hole that I work on that dunk achievement because you're so close. A lot of times I'm right over in this area right here on the fringe. So this is a great hole to try and do a dunk. to try and get that achievement for 100 dunks. There's only a couple holes in the game that I will do this type of dunk, but I do a lot. There's several holes in the game that when I'm driving the green, I actually do a dunk, because if you miss it, there's a backboard, and it'll roll up that backboard and then turn around and come right back towards the hole. But we do dunks and shootouts a lot. Nice. I'm going to wait for him to catch up so we can see if we can catch one of the par threes. These new par threes I've hit them once. One of the par threes I've hit twice. Just any practice we can get on those par threes is worthwhile. The new par threes that are in the Grunberg slopes that are going to be in the 2019 Christmas tournament, they look, I mean, every single one of them's got a hole-in-one shot. And they're actually really safe holes. There you go. If he hits this perfect, he's in the hole. He's there. Catch it perfect, Ryan. Come on. I'm being quiet for him. Perfect. In the hole. Get in the hole. Look at that. Nice shot. Nice shot. See if we can get my dunk in. In the hole. Adding on to the achievement. Good game. Now let's see if we can get to one of the new ones. Come on. Grunberg slopes. Let's roll. Yes, we got one of the new ones. So look at this green. This area right here, look at how much slope it has on it. So if you're using this side right here trying to get on, you know, it could be problematic if you hit in the wrong area. So as far as ball goes, I've got a Marlin. I'm in my long iron. I've got plenty of room here. So I could come off of this side and try and roll it up, or I can come up here and try and do I'm going to hit from over here just to see what this looks like. And with this ball, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to come over to this side. I'm not sure. I'm gonna hit on this backboard because I want to see what that backboard looks like. I want to see how much roll we get. And see if it actually will roll all the way back down to the cup, or what the situation is with that backboard. Or if it gets stuck up there, let's see how far down it rolls. Still rolling, still rolling, still rolling. So you could catch that if you had a club like a Grizzly that has some ball guide. You may be able to funnel that up there. As soon as I get done playing Ryan here, I'm going to switch my bags out, and I'm going to switch my Saturn in all of my bags. I'm going to put a Grizzly in. I'm going to go through my long irons, whichever one has the best ball guide, that's the one. Hopefully, the one that I have that has the best ball guide is the Grizzly, because it's the most accurate. The new and improved Grizzly. The Grizzly used to be a really crappy club, especially for as high up a club as it is. There's still several clubs that are up there that are higher level, higher tour clubs that are not very good. All right, that was Grunberg Slopes, hole 5, par 3. So we can get some more action here. Playing friendlies. Grunberg Slopes, hole 8, par 4. This is a awesome hole right here. I do believe that we can get on and one. And hopefully we got some good wind here, because I'm really want to go for this hole to see if we can get up there on the other side. And I really like to use a 3-power ball so I don't have to burn some 4 powers doing it. Excellent. We've got some tailwind. See which way Ryan's trying to go. That should be in the fairway. Up top, let's see if we can get over to the other side. I've hit this shot twice, and both times I've clipped the rough, but I didn't hit it perfect either time. Let's see if we can get over to the other side. Switch over to an extra mile. Let's put all that topspin on it. We need a little teeny bit of power, and we've got just a little bit of teeny wind there that's helping us out. So I'm going to try it without any overpower just to see if I can bleed over to the other side, if I can catch those bounces right. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if I got that right. There's one. Catch it. Excellent. Rolling over to the other side. See what kind of shot we have from here. Last time I was over here, I think I've caught this once where I was over there. Maybe I was in the sand. I think I was in the sand, and my opponent, which is another teammate, was behind me in the rough, and he had to kind of maneuver around the pillar for this train. Look how downhill this is. So we're definitely going to need to do add on for some wind, because it is way downhill. Even from where I'm at, it's got to be at least 10 to 20% downhill. See if he can get in there. Looks, ooh, nice shot. Nice shot. All right, here we go. You can see where I'm at here as far as like elevation. I am definitely downhill. You see that's as close as I can get to my ring set. So I'm a ways down that hill. Let's see where I'm at in my club. There's max. There's minimum. So I'm in mid club. So I'm 1.9 per ring. Couple backspin. So it's 1.9. I'm going to do just a little teeny bit over. That was probably at least a good 20%. And I hit it great to the left. That's not going to help me. It's not going to help my cause. Just a bit outside. I like our chances on that, but we're going to have the deal there is that even if we get over there and we're in short iron, when we're that much elevation change, it's hard to make super accurate wind adjustments because you can't get right down on it. When you can zoom in on those rings and you can say, hey, I want to make a 1.5 wind adjustment, a 1.5 ring wind adjustment, you can get pretty close to 1.5. But when you're that high up, it's hard to judge, if it's a perfect ring, and you're fine, but it's hard to judge it when you've got to make a partial ring adjustment. What I find a lot of times is that if my ring is like 1.9 and the adjustment's 2.1, that if I should just do the one ring adjustment, because the 0.02 is so small, or 0.2 is so small, that if I leave a sliver, that's actually too much. So But that will be a difficult hole for us to, and we're right on our red line here. We're against tailwind, so we'll have to short shoot it. This will be a tough this will be a tough hole to do a dunk on because of the short shooting. So that ball will be to the left and long. Hit it perfect. Perfect. Oh, it was to the left, but short. Excellent. That lets me know I don't have to take off. I'll short shoot it too. I'm going to do the same deal. Oh, and I'm on the other side of it. I can use the wind. So to get to the cup, I'm about a ring, so that's 1.9. I'm on this side of it. So there's 1.9 going forward, so that leaves me 8. So that's about a half a ring. Hitting it perfect. Got a shot. Ooh, close. 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 This is the whole thing about this game, is going out and having fun with people and playing some golf and practicing for the tournaments. Everybody takes this game so dang serious. When you get on social media, everybody's pissed off, mad about clubs and mad about people doing this and mad about people doing that, and outing people. Man, this game's supposed to be fun. Milano, hole 8, par 4. This is a serious eagle hole right here. Serious eagle hole. And you can play this with a katana, and you can play it with any ball, but it's better to have a side spin ball to bring you over to this fairway over here. And it only takes, if you've got an extra mile, it only takes about 4 topspin to get yourself up to the front. I've tried a max overpower hook shot here to see if I can land out in this area and get over on the other side, but there's a tree over here you can't see to the right, and you'll clip that tree. Let's see if that tree's still there. They change these holes sometimes, and they'll take obstructions out, or they will go, there's too many people, they figured out a way to do a max overpower hook shot, and they'll put a tree out there. So you'll play that hole again, and you'll think, well, I got this shot set up. I'm all set. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this with my rock and see. Get up in this area here. See if I can bridge that gap to the other side and end up in the fairway over there. Let's take that wind out. It's 3-6. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get over to the other side and get it in the front of the green and end up on the fairway. I think it'll end up in the rough. Too much curl. Close though. I need to set that up a little bit more to the right to try and catch that fairway here in the front. The deal is that even if I catch the fairway in the front, I'm not going to be able to get as close as I can on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, you can get up there where you're on the red line between your wedge and minimum short iron. And if you can get yourself into minimum short iron, and I would much rather be in minimum short iron than my wedge. My rapier is awesome for short, close-in shots, but it's not as accurate for those shots that are a little bit farther away. So when you talk about the debate between which is better, the in-bringer or the rapier, when the in-bringer has more accuracy, it's better for further away shots, but I still think that the rapier is a better up-close club. Once the in-bringer gets up towards maxed out, where it starts to get all the rest of its topspin, especially after the buff. So let's see where I'm at. Now there's max club. There's mid. So I'm in the 4 per ring range. Hey, get over here. Come on. All right, we're gonna bounce around. Bounce city bounce. So it's 4 per ring, so that's about a half a ring pull. You can see how small. See if I got my wind adjustment right. Pretty close. You can tell when you're shooting those rough irons. Like I've just played for long enough since the game came out, and I've been shooting those long irons that the closer you get, the smaller the rings are, and the smaller the rings are, the more accurate the club is. So your rough iron, your sandwich hit different than any other club in your bag. So most clubs in your bag have a very short range. So your long iron's got between 135 and 100 or whatever the max, whatever the longest hitting short iron is. Your long iron hits what I think a Goliath is the longest hitting, or the Tsunami, whichever one. It's got like 135 is the max. So your club only has like a 35-yard range. So max is at 135, minimum's at 100, and mid's somewhere in between. Your rough iron, your sandwich don't hit that way. Your rough iron hits, 120. And all right, we got one of the Grunberg holes. Excellent. Stuck. So your rough iron and your sandwich hit different. So they can go from max distance of, I think in Nirvana is what, 120, somewhere in that neighborhood. It hits from 0 to 120. So talking about, it's going to have more than just the max, mid, and minimum adjustments because it's got such a long range that it can hit. I always feel like if I set those rough iron and sandwich shots up, I can get in. This hole, I think all 3 of these holes that are in this Grunberg Slopes, all 3 of these par 3s are absolutely hole-in-oneable. I'm going to try the rough bump. First time I was here, I did a straight-in shot, but I'm going to try a rough bump here and see what the rough bump looks like. I think if you're doing the rough bump, you're downhill in that slot, so you'll probably have to make a bigger wind adjustment. So it's 3-4. I'm going to add on 10%, so I'm going to do a 3-7 pull. 3-7. And it's going to be hard to make an accurate wind adjustment down there because of the terrain. Isn't it perfect? Get an idea if that was how close I was on that wind adjustment, and I was not. So I added on 10% and still blew through the cup. So that means that I was even further downhill than 10%. All right, let's see if we can catch another one. I still have a couple holes here I haven't hit. So I still haven't hit hole number 4 in Grunberg Slopes, and I haven't made number 6. Milano, hole 9, par 5. This is a monster hole. And the deal is that this is one of those holes in the game that's super hard to get even an eagle on. This is one of the few par 5s in this game that is all birdie all the time. I come out into that area, and I'm going to take the wind out. It's 2.1, 2.4 per ring, so I'm going to do maybe a ring and 3/4. I'm going to do a max overpower shot because I'm trying to get out there to give myself a shot with that big dog. As long as I don't clip that rough here in the front and get some distance out there on the other side. You need to be around the 400 mark in order to be able to engage your big dog on the other side. So the 3 power ball may or may not help you here on this side if you're bouncing from here. If you bring a bigger ball and the wind, you've got tailwind like this, you can get to the other side. I think it takes a 5 power ball to get to the other side. And if you can get to the other side with a big dog, you can get on the fairway area across the sand from the cup. And it is a very makeable shot. But you've got to be able to engage this fairway over here so that you can get to this fairway up here. And I'm not going to be able to do it with that wind. I'm going to take the wind out. That's about a ring. It's a little over a ring, actually. I think it's 2.1 per at that level. It's either great or perfect. And it was a 1 ring great to the left. Just trying to lay it up out there so that we have a shot coming in. Now, my preferred method of trying to do this, you can try and bounce it over, but my preferred method is to do a rough bump. And this is a dangerous rough bump if you've got any kind of wind other than side wind. If you have headwind here, this is a super dangerous rough bump. And you really need to know where you're at in your club, because you can come here if you've got your short iron, or if you're in your wedge range and you're trying to do that, whatever club you're using, you need to pay attention to where you're at in your club, because it will make a difference. So you can do that bounce over right there, or you can do this rough bump. So there's max club. There's minimum. So I'm closer to min. So I'm in the 1.75 per ring range. I'm going to do a 1.6. Well, let's do 1.5. That'd be 3 rings. Hitting it perfect. Tough eagle. In the hole. Get in the hole. That's twice I've hit that eagle on that today. I'm on fire today. I've hit 2 albatrosses, 3 hole-in-ones, and I eagled this hole twice in one day. That shot right there on this hole is like getting an albatross on any other par 5. That's how hard it is to get that eagle. So if you've ever played this hole before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if it's your first time ever seeing that hole, this is one of the few par 5s in this game that it is absolutely the eagle shot is tough. It's a birdie hole. I can think of 2 off the top of my head, and there's a third one out there that I've got. I have not a guaranteed way to get an eagle, but a much higher percentage than what most people play it. I can't remember what the hole is. I'll see it someday and I'll post that video, or we'll get it in a tournament. I think we've only had that hole in 1 tournament since it came out. All right, let's see if we can get another rematch. See if Ryan wants to play one more time. One more time. Maybe. All right, that was some 6-star hotel. For those of you that are playing it, trying to get some practice holes, if you haven't played some of the, we got a lot of Milano holes there. We did get some of the Grunberg holes, but maybe it'll give you some looks on how to play some of those Milano holes. All right, thanks for watching.